What's going on, Airsofters? I'm Diles46. You're watching ꜱᴜ Airsoft. Before I get into episode 4 of Diles46 Straight Talk, I want to thank all you guys for your comments, for your questions, and participating in this series of vlogs, I guess you could say, for Diles46 Straight Talk series here. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for liking, subscribing. Make sure you keep that up. Give it a share if you want to. It really helps me feel confident to keep these things coming. So thanks again for that, guys. Let's get into this. From Evan Hancock. He asks, Diles, what is the most cost-effective chest rig / vest for outdoor and indoor airsoft gameplay in your opinion? Depending on how much you play, how aggressive you are, if you know you're going to kind of be more aggressive, obviously you're going to want to spend a little bit more money and get a little better quality. More money, more quality, we all know that. And then my friend Brent from Mission Spec chimed in and said the EOC is a good option. For a plate carrier, absolutely. I'll stand behind Brent on that answer for sure. The EOC stands for the Essentials Only Carrier. Shout out to Mission Spec. Check them out, missionspec.com. Very affordable plate carrier, high quality, made in the U.S. He hand makes all these things, well, on a machine, but he puts his time and his tender love and care into each one of those things. If you want to go a little bit cheaper, you know, obviously you can go the Condor route. They have a great selection of all kinds of chest rigs, plate carriers, vests, things like that. My personal favorite as far as a chest rig goes, and the reason I say chest rig is I think it's a very easy piece of gear, piece of kit that'll cover anything from indoor to outdoor or whatever you're doing. Condor offers one for I think around the $30 mark. It's just a regular rifleman chest pouch. It's got I believe 3 pouches on the front that hold 2 M4 size magazines apiece, and it's got 2 general utility pouches on the side, and I think it's got a radio pouch sewn on to the strap as well. I'll show you a picture of what I'm talking about. I personally run one of these. You know, the stitching's hit or miss. I've been fortunate enough to get some decent ones. I've actually had 2 of them in the past. I still run one. It's a great chest rig just to throw over plate carrier if you're running like a slick plate carrier or whatever. The price is right, the option's right, the availability of what you can store given the sewn in pouches is right. So if you're looking for just a no nonsense chest rig, check that out. Yeah, there you go. Thanks for the question, Evan. John O'Brien's coming in with a serious comment question here. He says, you touched base on cheaters, but what about the players who are just plain nuisances on the field? Shoot friendly, shoot admins, don't know what they're doing or talking about, try to take things that aren't theirs, and off the field are either rude, inappropriate, or in one case, I found myself in a creepy, and then he puts in parentheses, he started hitting on a girl way younger than him. Man, you know, I think any sport kind of attracts all kinds. Especially with Airsoft, it's you know, it attracts loners, so you don't necessarily have to be a part of a team, which is something that's cool about Airsoft. But at the same time, you're gonna get in some weird social engagements that you might not otherwise be in the middle of. About punk players that are shooting friendly, shooting admins, don't know what they're doing or talking about, don't know what you're doing or talking about. You know, I'd say let's go back to the community thing, help them out. You know, give them a hand. If they don't know, maybe intervene and say, hey, I do know, let me kind of guide you in the right direction. But if they're just, you know, being punks, you know, call them out on it in a subtle way. Don't start arguing about it. Be like, hey, man, it's not cool, you know, shooting admins, shooting friendlies on purpose, intentionally. That's not cool. That's not part of the game. You know, go and play Call of Duty or something. But like I said, go back to the community thing, and always, in anything you do in life, give the benefit of the doubt before you jump to conclusions. But I mean, if they're just, yeah, straight, you know, dirtbag punks, then, you know, maybe call them out on it. Make sure, you know, you bring it up to the attention of the admins, and hopefully it can be resolved. You know, it's sad to say that some players just might not be cut out for it. Airsoft, I think, especially outdoor play, does involve a certain level of personal, independent responsibility, and some players just might not have that, to be honest. Going on to the rest of it, let's see here. Try to take things that aren't theirs. That's called a thief. I have no space in my life for thieves, to be bluntly honest about it. I have ran into some thievery, some issues at ꜱᴜ Airsoft that was resolved, thank God. But yeah, for people stealing stuff, and you know, it's gonna happen. You know, Airsoft is not just a tiny little bubble. I mean, it's people. You know, it's average people. It's a social thing. You know, you're gonna get all kinds. It takes all types. For thieves, you know, weed them out as quickly as possible. Get them out of here. Airsoft and any other sport has no place for thieves. Yeah, I don't tolerate stealing. I think that's low. Stealing from an individual that's worked hard to, you know, get their airsoft items, things like that. That's just get out of my sport. I think you all will stand behind me on that statement. Rude, inappropriate, or in one case, I found myself in a creepy situation. Started hitting on a girl way younger than him. Yeah, again, bring that up to an admin. Hopefully, whatever field you're playing at, the admin is an adult and can resolve the situation. Hitting on a girl way younger than him. Yeah, that's creepy, man. And like I said, Airsoft's one of those zany sports that you don't have to be a team, so it attracts loners, it attracts all types, all kinds of people. Like I said, a good admin staff, you know, is going to be adults, and hopefully they can resolve any creepy situations like that. That is creepy. John, we're going to talk later about that. Thanks for the question. All right. My little buddy Harrison Fears chimes in with a question. He says, Diles, what are your views on sniper rifles? Do you see them as a great tool to aid a squad, or would a DMR-style AEG get the job done better? Also, what is words? Okay. Funny story, I was actually talking with the parent of a player that came into Intrigue today on a Saturday play, and he's actually on the SWAT team for KCPD, Kansas City Police Department. And we were talking about guns, and he was talking about how they went from the Remington M700, M800, M700, I believe, and the police department started buying up modified AR-10s for the .308 caliber, the .308 round. And he was kind of talking about how it's not a true sniper rifle. And I mean, this guy's seen action during his years as a law enforcement officer, so he knows what he's talking about. I kind of threw this out there because I always like to play devil's advocate for sure. You know, if something deserves one shot, it deserves another shot, and a follow-up shot, especially with an AR-10, a semi-automatic DMR type weapon, I'd say it's my personal preference for sure. And what I kind of cited as why I kind of backed up my personal preference is if you guys do your research, the H&K PSG-1 was invented out of a situation in Germany, I believe in the 1970s, where a German airline, a German plane filled with civilians was taken over by terrorists. The German police, their GSG-9, I believe is what they're designated, kind of the German counter-terrorist unit, went in and tried to resolve the issue. Well, they had bolt-action sniper rifles, and apparently the first round or two from the first sniper rounds missed their target by trying to hit the terrorists, the hostage takers, and it turned out with a lot of civilian casualties. So, I mean, this is only airsoft, but I think it kind of goes both ways, and that's why the Germans contracted H&K out to design the PSG-1, which was a semi-automatic sniper rifle. So, in modern terms, yeah, a DMR, I would say go for the DMR. Obviously, we know that semi-auto follow-up shots, especially in airsoft, you know, your BB's going to be affected by wind, bushes, you know, a tree limb or a twig pretty much sends your kill shot, you know, flying off to the right or left, and then, you know, there goes your shot. So, 2 or 3 shots, absolutely. And it depends on what your field's going to call for as well. You know, locally, I believe DMRs can shoot anywhere from 450 to 500, and it's going to change from region to region. But so, yeah, moral of the story: in an airsoft situation, a DMR with the semi-automatic capability is always going to be better in airsoft over a bolt-powered airsoft gun for sure. If it deserves one shot, give it another. All right, guys, last question here from Brendan Shu. He asks, how did you get into airsoft and how long have you been playing? How did I get into airsoft? Well, my story goes, I had a child at a younger age. I was around the 17, 18 mark. I was looking for a hobby, so I was actually kind of perusing the interwebs, looking to purchase my first real steel rifle, and I came across airsoft. I was looking for all these guns, and airsoft kept popping up, so I was like, well, what the heck is this? So I check it out. I'm 30 now, so do the math on that. And I bought an airsoft gun because it was cheaper, it looked cool, and basically, you know, I liked what I was seeing. So my first airsoft gun was a HFC brand pump action MP5 Springer. I think I paid like 50 bucks for it, 60 bucks for it back in the day. That's when Springers were a little bit higher grade, not what we're used to nowadays, with the cost difference between an AEG and what we used to consider a high grade Springer rifle. There's not much of a difference price-wise. Everything's become so affordable since the Chinese clone era. So anyways, yeah, I got into airsoft just kind of on a whim, man, and I was looking it up locally. I found some local players that were into airsoft as well. We got together for some small skirmish games, put together an email list. We got everybody's emails. We would shoot out an email. We'd meet up maybe once or twice a month. We actually played at a paintball field here in Kansas City. And the sport just kind of started progressing. We formed a website, a forum-based website that turned into what you guys might know as the Kansas City Airsoft Association. Dead now, but in its heyday, it was a good time. The KCAA. I was part of that, and I worked my way up. Actually, I was with it so long, I was an admin in the end days before it kind of faded out. But the website was awesome. The forums were really cool. Lots of information. The community was just vibrant during those days, during the forum-based KCAA days. It was a good time for airsoft. It was awesome. And I'm not saying it's a bad time for airsoft now, but to have all this knowledge and information in one forum-based website was really cool. And you know, so I admin some games. We moved fields. We had some woodland fields that we built trenches and things like that. We built some little huts and stuff like that. But it was all mostly outdoors. I would visit back to the West Coast from time to time. That's where I'm originally from. And I always saw all these indoor places, tried them out. Lots of fun for sure. Indoor CQB is kind of where I got an itch to start ✱ᴜ Airsoft here in Kansas City, our indoor CQB field here now. And I'm not going back, man. And I think a lot of people are with me. The building stuff, the CQB, the building to building, is kind of where airsoft thrives at, I believe. You know, woods is fun. Don't get me wrong. I love my woodland play. I love my field craft. I love getting out there in the bush. But when it comes down to it, man, the ease of having electricity and not having to plan 48 hours in advance for one day of airsofting is awesome. So I love my indoor stuff. Tell me what you guys think. So there it is, man. That's how I got into airsoft. What is it, like 11, 12 years later? I'm still playing it, still love it, still doing strong. Wouldn't change it for the world. Make sure you guys leave me more questions in the comments below. Make sure you put question before it so I can catch it easier. If I didn't get to your question this time, ask me another one. I'll get to you next time, I promise. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, share, give me those likes. Again, that helps me do what I do. Until next time, guys.